knowing in advance that you will cross, what will it be like? Some people may be happy, some may be scared, or some may not be reconciled. Zhou Ping knew that he was about to cross, but his mood did not fluctuate. He just packed everything carefully, turned off the sluice, switch and gas, tied a boning knife on his leg, and left the rented cabin. He carried a travel bag in his hand. In the bag are more than a dozen Ultraman figures that he has treasured for a long time, and he is about to cross. All the things are indifferent to him, including the more than 100,000 in the bank card. 6 hours ago, Zhou Ping knew that he was about to cross. He didn't take this sudden thought as a joke. First of all, the countdown to the crossing has always appeared in his mind. Secondly, the world he was about to cross had already appeared in his consciousness, and Zhou Ping flashed it quickly in 3 hours. The place he wants to travel through is a place similar to the Earth, but with a more developed civilization and a harsher environment. Before crossing, I was told in advance, and also let him clearly read all the maps of the world about to be traversed. Perhaps, this is the welfare of him as a traverser. Apart from these, there is nothing else. Count down to 3 hours. What can be done in 3 hours? Zhou Ping didn't know, he just didn't want to wait at home, and walked out casually. Uncle Zhao, where is Xiaobin? At the gate of the community, Uncle Zhao wearing a white vest is watching other people play chess. Xiaobin is his grandson and is in the first year of junior high school this year. Xiaobin hasn't finished school yet, are you going to travel? Uncle Zhao only raised his head, and then picked up the chess piece. When he replied, he did not forget the chessboard and attacked the opponent. But he is a watcher, this general feels that his name is not right, and his words are not right. No, this is for Xiaobin. He has been thinking about it for a long time. Uncle Zhao is Zhou Ping's opposite neighbor. He is usually very nice to him. When the family makes dumplings or buns, he asks his grandson Xiaobin to give him some. Putting down the bag in his hand, Zhou Ping was a little at a loss. Uncle Zhao only took care of the commanding board, and didn't care what was in the bag at all. Took out his cell phone and called his father far away in the United States. No one answered the call. It should be night there, and his father has the habit of mute sleep. As soon as he pressed his mother's number, Zhou Ping put down the phone again. After his parents divorced, his mother married to the UK. The couple only knew to give Zhou Ping money every month, and seldom lived with him. Looked at the time, there were 2 hours and 51 minutes left before the crossing. Zhou Ping walked on the street alone and was about to leave the world. He didn't want to leave regrets for himself, but no matter what he looked at, he felt that he didn't see enough. I usually pass by without caring, but when I really lose it, I know to cherish it. There were 2 hours and 43 minutes left. Zhou Ping took a taxi and went straight to Jiangda. Graduated for a full year, every time he raised the idea of a school visit, he rejected all kinds of busyness reasons. So that the first time I came to my alma mater after graduation, it became the last time. Alma mater is not far away. After getting out of the car, Zhou Ping walked casually. Seeing the boys and girls with sincere smiles on campus, Zhou Ping suddenly felt envy. Like many people, when I was in college, I was young and frivolous. I only knew how to play, pointing the sky at the sky, as if I could do everything. After graduation, Fang realized that this is the happiest time in life. Zhou Ping aimlessly, unconsciously, walked under the original dormitory. He wanted to go back to the old dormitory to take a look, but he understood that there was nothing wrong there, and all the members of 503 were no longer there. Going up again is meaningless to him. There, it has become a newcomer's nest. Zhou Ping did not bother them. He went to the cafeteria, to the playground, and to the music room that he missed the most. I am a young man. When I was in college, I formed a small band with a few friends. I really agreed with the lyrics, people in groups listen to them singing, but they are just for the sake of ignorance. As the time passed, their ordinary little band didn't even survive a rumor in the school. New students will soon forget the past. 4 years of college life, it seems that there are many unforgettable memories, but if you really capture it, you will find that it is only a fleeting moment. No matter how important things were back then, now it is just a passing moment. Alone. 4 years in university, Zhou Ping's best iron buddy, best girlfriend, abruptly developed her crush into a buddy and became her best male girlfriend. Until now, she has not dared to confess. Looking back, Zhou Ping can only laugh at herself. Time, there is 1 hour and 32 minutes left. In the last 9-12 minutes, Zhou Ping suddenly missed her. When he wanted to leave for the last time, he would look at her again, without disturbing her. As long as he could see her, Zhou Ping would be content. Took a taxi to the largest shopping mall nearby and bought the jade bracelet she once liked very much but was reluctant to buy. There were 73 minutes left. She works in a small unit in the suburbs of the east of the city. She was admitted as a civil servant, and fortunately stayed in this city, but unfortunately the unit was average. When I saw the sign of the Forestry Bureau Chengdong branch, there were 15 minutes left. Master, this is Luo Hiking's Expedited Express, please give it to her later. We'll pack exquisite gifts. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com was placed in the communication room. Zhou Ping walked to the side, called her, and told her that he had a gift in the communication room, and asked her to pick it up now. 5 minutes before the crossing, Zhou Ping saw her from one side. As usual, she is wearing a white shirt and black pants, clean and tidy, with ponytails. She looks particularly youthful. She is not particularly beautiful, and her body is not perfect, but she is the only one in his eyes. The moment Zhou Ping saw her, Zhou Ping smiled, as if he had no regrets anymore. In the communication room, she opened the exquisite gift box and was taken aback when she saw the beautiful jade bracelet inside, and then walked out the door. At the moment she walked out, Zhou Ping had already dodged, hiding in a place she couldn't see. Zhou Ping is not a brave person. If he is brave, he will not dare to confess until now. He has been hiding this love in the deepest part of his heart. For Zhou Ping, at the last moment of the journey, I can look at her again, and I am content. Next, he will go to an unknown world, a world that may never return. At this time, the best care for her is not to disturb her. There are still 3 minutes left. The phone turned on. Zhou Ping deliberately mute the sound. She called. Zhou Ping didn't answer, just quietly looked at the caller's number. She made 2 consecutive calls, and the phone showed 2 unanswered calls. At the last minute, Zhou Ping slowly closed his eyes and stood in the corner, but his heart was aching like a needle. The unwillingness to give up is still entwined in my heart. At the last second, Zhou Ping's eyes flickered, and everything around him seemed to have become illusory, like turbulent Bowen, slowly disappearing. The dizziness did not last long. When Zhou Ping regained consciousness, the surrounding scenes had completely changed. The small building of the Chengdong Forestry branch disappeared, and there was no blue sky and white clouds above. At this time, he was standing on a street in a city. The street was not wide, only the lane with 2 cars side by side, and the sidewalks on both sides. There are not many vehicles on the road, but they are all electric cars with full sense of technology, and very beautiful, without exhaust. Looked up, under the dark sky, surrounded by tall skyscrapers, the colorful fluorescent lights on each side of the skyscrapers illuminate the whole city. There were triangular flying vehicles with flashing lights constantly shuttled in the sky. The people on the ground looked the same as him, dressed similarly, and were all oriental faces. Unlike on the earth, no one here is walking while looking at a mobile phone. Almost all people are the same, coming and going in a hurry. Has passed through. This is the world he has seen in advance, a world where technology is at least several hundred years more advanced than the earth. Touched his calf and pocket. The boning knife he was carrying was still there. In addition, when buying a jade bracelet, the bank card balance was replaced with 20 small 10 grams gold bars, which were also in the pocket. Zhou Ping doesn't know if gold is equally valuable in this world, but it's better to bring it with you than without it. Someone around gave him a strange look. Zhou Ping immediately walked forward like everyone else and noticed the electronic street sign on the side of the road. Chun Xi Road. There is no time to recall the past, he wants to integrate into this world as soon as possible and adapt to it. There are many restaurants on both sides of the road. Although small, they are exquisite and clean. There are people dining in the restaurant and people entering and leaving. The doors of all shops are automatic, no door frames, only glass, which seems to be completely transparent. Zhou Ping did not enter any shop, but was immersed in consciousness, observing the map in his mind. He wants to determine where he is currently. The map is a real three-dimensional map, but as soon as it was opened, Zhou Ping was taken aback for a while, and his steps slowly slowed down. Through the map he saw before, there are various cities, buildings, rivers, mountains, grasslands, forests, deserts, etc. He has clearly seen all the conditions of the whole world before, that is, there are no living creatures. The map opened this time is still very empty, without any life appearing, but there are countless more white light spots. Zhou Ping roughly calculated that there are at least 100,000 such white light spots. These white light spots are distributed in various places in the world. The white light spots are not static. Zhou Ping was watching. In a desert area, there were probably hundreds of white light spots suddenly disappearing. Zhou Ping happened to see this, so the disappearance of the white light spot seemed so abrupt. What was the white light spot that appeared and disappeared inexplicably? Zhou Ping didn't know at all, he could only see the map, but he didn't get any explanation. There is no manual, Zhou Ping would like to give a bad review for this crossing. Zoomed in on the map. It took 2 minutes to finally determine his location from 6 places called Chengzi Road. At the same time, he noticed that there were dozens of white light spots near him. Some are moving, some are fixed there. Less than 100 meters in front of him, there are 2 fixed white light spots. Zhou Ping quickened his pace, and within a minute he reached the place where the 2 white light spots were. At a white spot, there is a man wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase, standing there with his mouth open, looking around blankly. Another white light spot, on the road diagonally opposite him, there is also a person. But this man is even more exaggerated. The man in his 40s, wearing a herringbone support, colorful pants, shirtless, holding a toothbrush in one hand and a cup in the other, his mouth is still full of foam, he is holding it blankly. Head, looking at the flying vehicles constantly passing through the sky. His appearance is incompatible with the people around him and the environment. Soon, 4 people in black uniforms ran up not far away, stood up, and walked away. The brushing man had his feet off the ground, his hands were tightly controlled, and his mouth kept yelling, "Who are you? Why did you catch me? Where is this?" Zhou Ping noticed that while the man brushing his teeth was taken away, the white spot of the man in his mind on the map moved at the same time. The moving speed and position of the white light spot are exactly the same as the man brushing his teeth. The man brushing his teeth is like a farce, he just makes the people around him smile, and no one really cares. Zhou Ping noticed again that the first person he saw, the man carrying the briefcase, lowered his head and followed the crowd to walk forward. As soon as he walked away, Zhou Ping's white spot of light at his position moved at the same time. The direction, speed, and position of the movement are all the same. This made Zhou Ping confirm that these newly appearing white light spots are all people, but why only these 2 people appear as white light spots on the map, while the others do not, Zhou Ping is still unclear. Zhou Ping quietly followed behind the man with the briefcase. The man with the briefcase gradually raised his head, and looked into the sky from time to time, and then to the tall buildings on both sides of the road. Zhou Ping couldn't see his startled and horrified eyes, but he observed that his hands had been held tightly, which was a manifestation of emotional tension. When he reached a crossroad, the man with the briefcase hesitated and walked towards another path with few people. Zhou Ping followed behind him and entered this path. On the side of the road, Zhou Ping saw the street sign. Chunlin Road. Hello, I got hit on my head, I want to ask, how do I get to Wanda Plaza? Finally, the man with the briefcase stopped a passerby and asked politely, but the passerby looked at him in a daze. What Wanda Plaza? I haven't heard of it. I may have been hit very badly, and I am still a little confused. Where is this place? What year is this year? Briefcase. When the man asked, his hands clasped his briefcase, his eyes were even more tense. Zhou Ping. At this time, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com has reached the man with the briefcase and walked slowly past him. Passers-by looked at him sympathetically, and continued, this is the intersection of Chunlin Road and Chengzi Road in District 6, do you remember where your home is? I can take you home. No thanks. The man with the briefcase finished speaking, hurriedly left and quickly surpassed Zhou Ping, and then quickened his pace, and soon he was in the crowd in front of him. Zhou Ping did not continue to follow him. On the sidewalk crossing the road in front, he walked to the other side of the road and walked away quickly in the opposite direction. At a distance of more than 200 meters on the other side of Chunlin Road, there is also a white light spot, which is moving quickly towards him. Didn't go far, the crowd in front suddenly became confused. Zhou Ping hid in the crowd, and soon saw a brawny man wearing a vest and jeans with a tattoo on his arm galloping in the middle of the road. Behind him, 4 people in the same attire as the man brushing his teeth were chasing after him. Behind the 4, a young man suddenly jumped up, jumped more than 3 meters high, and jumped to the front of the tattooed man. His left hand grabbed the tattooed man's vest, and his raised right hand was not like an ordinary human hand, but a black metal fist. Under the metal fist, there is a metal arm glowing with silver light. A short sword about 20 centimeters long was drilled in the center of the metal fist, and as the young man pushed forward, it plunged directly into the tattooed man's neck. The splashing blood made the surrounding chaos. Zhou Ping's heart tightened. After the tattooed man struggled a few times, the white light spot at his position disappeared. The surrounding chaos did not last long. The metal arm put down the body of the tattooed man, and the men in uniforms immediately carried the body away. There are still people to clean up the blood on the ground. The people around quickly returned to normal, what to do, just like hurriedly. Zhou Ping was caught in the crowd and quickly walked away. He didn't look back, or even glanced at the tattooed man. When he arrived at a place with few people, Zhou Ping immediately slowed down, quickly sorting out the gains in less than half an hour in his mind. There are 3 things that can be confirmed. First of all, he is not the only one to cross. The man with the briefcase must be the crosser. Most of the conversations between him and passers-by have been heard by Zhou Ping. Zhou Ping is very clear that there is no Wanda Plaza in this world. The man with the briefcase is a wise man, knowing that he protects himself without revealing his identity as a traveler. How many people passed through, Zhou Ping also had a judgment in his heart. The white light spots on the map are all the traversers who came through this time. Each white light spot represents a traverser. After death, the white light spots will disappear. Thinking of the hundreds of white light spots that disappeared in the desert at the beginning, Zhou Ping didn't know what danger existed there, which could cause hundreds of people to die at the same time. Secondly, not everyone knows in advance that they will cross. If he knew in advance that he was going to cross, he would definitely not wear flip-flops and big pants, brushing his teeth while waiting to cross. Briefcase man, tattooed man also didn't know that he would cross in advance. If he knew, one wouldn't ask such a thing, and the other would be less impulsive and cost him his life. The third and most important point is that this is not a peaceful or friendly world. This world is full of dangers. Hundreds of people who died in the desert, as well as the tattooed man who had just been killed in front of him, all confirmed this to Zhou Ping. The metal fists and arms of the young man indicate that the technology of this world is indeed much more advanced than that of the earth. If you want to survive in such a world, you must be more careful. Reopening the map, Zhou Ping immediately noticed that 2 more of the dozens of white light spots around him disappeared. There are 6 white light spots gathered together. It is estimated that they are all caught together like the toothbrushing man. Time is pressing and there are so many people who have passed through. I am afraid that some people will already know that people who do not belong to this world will come here. It will not take long before they can be completely sure of the accuracy of this news. Regardless of the ruler anywhere, knowing that there are so many traversers of unknown origin in his own territory, the reaction may be the same. Even on the earth, the rulers of various countries will also arrest these people first. Once caught, the destiny will be handed over to others and obey the arrangements of others. There are only 2 roads in front of Zhou Pian. Either quickly leave the city and go to the wild to hide yourself, or quickly obtain a legal identity in this world. While walking, Zhou Ping looked at the map. I can't stay here any longer. Chunlin Road is flanked by Chengzi Road, above Chengzi Road is Ziwan Road. Ziwan Road is a big road. From Ziwan Road to the east, more than 1,000 meters away, it is the 6th and 7th districts, the junction. Zhou Ping quickly determined where he was going. The 7th district. The buildings in District 7 are obviously not as high as District 6 and so good. Regardless of wherever it is, where it is developed, the government's control power is correspondingly stronger, and the marginal place is slightly weaker. The 7th district is located on the east side of the city. Although the whole district is very large, it is not the center of the city. Even if you cannot obtain a legal identity in this world, you will be closer to the city than other places from here. With a goal, Zhou Ping did not hesitate. Just like the pedestrians on the street, he walked quickly towards the 7th district. At the same time, he was constantly observing the map. More and more white light spots were gathered together. Of the dozens of white light spots around him, fewer than 10 are still scattered. Zhou Ping also noticed that the white light spot representing the man with the briefcase was also scattered. But the direction he went was the 5th district. There are 9 districts in this city. The 1st district is in the center, the 2nd and 3rd districts are on both sides of the 1st district. Outside are the 4, 5, 6, and 7, 89 districts. Is like saying, the man with the briefcase is walking towards the city center. This also gave Zhou Ping a new judgment. The man with the briefcase should not be able to see the entire map like him, otherwise it is definitely not a wise choice to go inside. Zhou Ping soon arrived at Ziwan Road, which is indeed much wider than Chengzi Road, but there are many fewer people. Maybe because this is the junction with the 7th district, not many people pass here to go to the 7th district. While walking, Zhou Ping kept driving the map to check the surrounding white light spots. There was a place where 12 white light spots gathered. Now there are 11 left, and 1 more person disappeared. Plus the few white light spots that disappeared before, just like that, excluding the tattooed man, a total of 5 white light spots disappeared. Each white light spot represents a person, which is equivalent to 5 traversers who have died. Zhou Ping was walking fast, cursing inwardly. He has read a lot of novels about the traverser. People didn't go back to the ancient times to be a nobleman. Yu reading www.yuuganju.com is to become the emperor, or go back to the past few decades, change destiny, and become rich. He crossed into an unknown world. Not to mention, this world is still so unfriendly. A little carelessness, maybe Xiaoming will explain here. The wide Ziwan road suddenly narrowed, and the skyscrapers on both sides of the road disappeared, replaced by old-fashioned small buildings with more than a dozen stories or 6 or 7 stories. Finally reached the 7th district, Zhou Ping did not relax in his heart. Came to the 7th area to avoid possible searches, but he had no choice but to choose. He was still in the city and could be taken away by the managers of this world at any time. For him, the crisis has not been resolved. The number of people on the sidewalk in the 7th district is much smaller than that in the 6th district, and their walking speed is slower than that of the people in the 6th district. The ordinary buildings on both sides of the road made Zhou Ping suddenly feel like returning to the earth. If the sky doesn't have aircraft that fly by from time to time, it really looks like the earth here. Zhou Ping is not such a strong person. The reason why he can remain calm now is all because of the pressure of survival that forced him to do this. If he hadn't known in advance that he would cross and read the map, I'm afraid he would be the same as those who were captured. He is now being questioned by the world manager, waiting for an unknown fate. Not long after walking in the 7th district, Zhou Ping's eyes lit up slightly. In the shop on the side of the road, he saw a gold shop that was very similar to the earth. In a real gold shop, the items sold in it were gold. This shows that gold is just as useful in this world. The gold bars he bought, by the way, when he bought a diamond ring, might become the key to his survival in this world. Zhou Ping walked to the gold shop and looked at the price in the gold shop. Gold necklaces, gold rings, and gold bracelets are all available. The shop is small, but very delicate. Every piece of jewelry has a price tag. Gold bracelets are the most expensive. Large ones cost 30,000 to 40,000, while smaller ones have only one layer of fine circles, and they also cost 5,000 to 6,000. Gold rings and necklaces are cheaper, followed by earrings, but the cheapest ones have a price tag of 1 to 2,000. Sir, what do you want? The waiter in the shop was staring at Zhou Ping. The dress, accent, and appearance of people in this world are exactly the same as those of the earth. This is good news for those who travel. If even these are different, I am afraid Zhou Ping would have followed in the footsteps of those same people and was arrested. Let me consider. Zhou Ping did not ask if they reclaimed gold. In the gold shop, he at least knew that the prices of the world are similar to those of the earth. The world is more technologically advanced than the earth. If cash had been eliminated long ago, even if he sold gold, he would not have a bank card to hold the money. It is better to keep it and wait until the basic situation of the world is understood. After watching for a while, Zhou Ping left the gold store, and after walking a few steps outside, he immediately went into a clothing store next to him. The map has been opened, and there is another white light spot in front of him quickly moving towards him. After a while, the white light spot moved to the front of Zhou Ping. Zhou Ping looked out. A 15 or 16-year-old boy was running fast. Behind him were two men in black uniforms who were about to chase. Get on him! Probably at the location of the Jindian, the boy was thrown to the ground by the two. Zhou Ping noticed that the man in the black uniform took out something similar to handcuffs and handcuffed the boy backhand. Let me go, my dad is the deputy chief of the coastal police station, who dare to arrest me? The boy yelled, but it was useless, he was forcibly twisted away by the two. Binhai? Zhou Ping's eyebrows jumped. He knew Binhai, the coastal city on the earth, was far away from Zhongcheng where he was. This shows that all the traversers are not traversing in contrast to the city, most likely random. That is to say, the current traversers in this city are likely to come from all over the world, and there are people everywhere. Is very sympathetic to the boy Zhou Ping. Seeing that he is still wearing a school uniform, he is probably a high school student who is studying. Was in the teacher's class, and suddenly passed to an inexplicable place. His mood can be imagined. Now he is arrested again. I don't know what kind of fate is waiting for him. Sympathy returned to sympathy, but Zhou Ping can't help him. Now Zhou Ping cannot protect himself, it is impossible to help anyone at all. There were customers in the clothing store. They also looked out the door. After the boy was taken away, he turned around to pay and bought a piece of clothing. He paid in cash, which is regarded as the second good news that Zhou Ping came across. In this world, cash has not disappeared. Selling the gold he brought with him and replacing it with cash, at least for a short time, Zhou Ping will not be hungry, and there will be more ways to protect himself. Leaving the clothing store, Zhou Ping walked slowly. There are not many pedestrians on the street outside, maybe because of the night, but Zhou Ping would never know the time here. In the map, many of the surrounding white light spots are gathered together. There are very few scattered white light spots. Zhou Ping deliberately zoomed in on the map to see the entire city. At the beginning of this city, there were at least 1,000 white light spots. It has only been more than an hour since this city has passed, and 80% of the white light spots have been gathered together. In other words, in just over an hour, 80% of those who crossed into this city have been arrested. In addition, at least more than 20 white light spots disappeared. I don't know if they were killed when resisting arrest like the tattooed men, or were killed after being caught. As for the entire world map, more white light spots disappear. Especially in the wild, many places where there were white light spots before are now empty. The original more than 100,000 white light spots are now only more than 80,000. In just over an hour, 2/10 of the traversers were killed. This unfriendly world is too dangerous. Zhou Ping discovered that although many of the white light spots in the city were caught, not many died. On the contrary, the white light spots in many deserts, forests, and wilderness disappeared more. The white light spots that disappeared in the wild accounted for almost 90%. Near the city where he was located, there were nearly 1,000 white light spots, but this would have disappeared more than 100, including the direction he wanted to leave the city, and the white light spots also disappeared. This shows that the wild in this world is not safe, and even more dangerous than in the city. Originally thinking of leaving the city, Zhou Ping, who first praised the limelight in the wild, gave up this idea decisively. There is a risk of being caught in the city, but there is a possibility of death in the wild. How to choose? Zhou Ping doesn't have to think about it. Walked about more than 500 meters, and there was another gold shop on the side of the road. Zhou Ping first found 2 small gold bars before he walked in. After passing through for almost 2 hours, Zhou Ping didn't even drink any water. He must change the world currency as soon as possible. Do you accept gold? Entering the store, without waiting for the clerk to inquire, you read www.yuyuganshu.com. Zhou Ping directly asked. Clothes, do you want to sell it? The clerk immediately replied, and Zhou Ping nodded, and placed 2 small gold bars on the table. The color is good, today's recycling price is 371 grams, but you need to provide a receipt. The clerk carefully screened it all over, then raised his head and looked at Zhou Ping. I don't have a ticket. Just like on the earth, recycling of gold also requires invoices or receipts, but Zhou Ping believes that if there are no receipts, they will also receive it. If you don't have a ticket, you can only get 301 grams. The clerk's eyes flashed slyly in the aisle. Zhou looked at him quietly, put away the gold bars, and was about to go out. 307 to 300, too much drop. Although there are a lot of 20 gold bars, Zhou Ping deeply understands the dangers of the world. If you can change more, you can change more. Besides, there are more than 1 gold shops on this street. He can ask more. 303. Zhou did not even turn his head back, and continued to walk outward. 304. No ticket will not exceed this price anywhere. Seeing that Zhou Ping was about to go out, the clerk hurriedly shouted again. Zhou Ping turned around and put the gold bars on the counter again. The standard gold bar of 10 grams, the weighing unit of this world, is the same as that of the earth. This world has too many similarities to the earth, but this world does not have 7 continents or 5 oceans, but only a large continent. The continents are surrounded by oceans. The ocean area of this world is not as large as the earth, and it is about 5/5 of the land area. If the map of this world is similar to that of the earth, Zhou Ping would even suspect that what he had traveled to was the earth of the future, a completely different landform, which made him understand that this is just a world similar to the earth. 341 grams, 20 grams, a total of 6,008. The clerk counted out a stack of banknotes for Zhou Ping. The denominations were 100 or 68, but they were only a thin stack. The currency in this world is much thinner and lighter than that on the earth. Zhou Ping held it in his hand and touched it. It felt a bit like plastic, but it was smoother than plastic. The currency here is at least half thinner than the banknotes on the earth. There are no heads of people on the currency, only tall buildings, and the face value of 100 is written. Put all the money in his pocket, Zhou Ping immediately left the gold shop. He will not stay in one place for too long. He is now an unidentified black household. Once he is found, he will definitely be taken away. So many white light spots are gathered together, which is a warning to him. In an electrical appliance store not far away, Zhou Ping spent 1,000 yuan to buy an ordinary mobile phone in this world. The appearance of a mobile phone is similar to that of the Earth, but it is lighter. In addition to the regular internet and call functions, it also has a holographic projection function. When making a video call, it is like standing face to face. The phone card needs a real name. Zhou Ping did not buy it. Even if you don't have a mobile phone card, you have a network wherever you go. The world's network is more developed than the Earth, at least in cities. Walked more than 300 meters, in a small restaurant, Zhou Ping paid 20 yuan for a small noodle set meal, while eating while looking at the phone. The taste of noodles is a little weird. It is different from the Earth. The noodles without Earth are delicious, but at least they can fill the stomach. After eating noodles, Zhou Ping also has the most basic understanding of the world. The world is huge, not inferior to the Earth, but there are only 2 governments, unlike the Earth, which has more than 200 countries and regions, which is very complicated. On the east side of the mainland is the City Federation. The federal government has a total of 50 cities, each of which is about the same size, each with a population of at least 20 million. The west side of the mainland belongs to the Cities Alliance. There are a total of 58 cities, all of which are similar in size. This world is made up of these 108 cities. Zhou Ping's current location is the 9th city of the Federation. After understanding the basic situation, Zhou Ping finally understood why so many white light spots disappeared in the wild. Almost all human beings in this world live in cities. Only adventurers and wanted criminals can survive in the wilderness. The wild environment of this world is much worse than that of the Earth. There are not only very powerful beasts in the wild, but also various dangerous environments. Even many plants are dangerous. There are at least hundreds of plants that can kill humans. No wonder the white light spots that appeared in the wild disappear so much. Zhou Ping is fortunate now. Fortunately, he has crossed into the city. Otherwise, without knowing it in the wild, he is likely to become a delicacy for beasts and even plants, just like the disappearing white light spots. The history of this world is not as long as that of the Earth, and the recorded history is only 4,000 years. But 500 years ago, science and technology in this world began to develop rapidly. The most typical representative is the use of machinery to replace human tissues. There are not only mechanical arms, but also mechanical eyes, mechanical hearts, and so on. Except for the brain, everything can be mechanized. The development of science and technology has increased the lifespan of human beings in this world to a certain extent. But until now, the mechanical body is still the most precious thing in this world. A complete mechanical arm costs more than 500,000 at the end, and even better, it can even cost several million. It takes at least tens of millions to transform the whole body into a mechanical body. All the people who can have a mechanical body are the rich in this world. In addition to the mechanical body, there is also a class of people in this world called the awakened. The awakener refers to the human beings in this world. After stimulation or arousal, they suddenly have special abilities. Their abilities are varied, and some are completely assisted or even useless. For example, some awakened people can make water by themselves every day, and produce 1,000 or 2,000 milliliters of pure water in the air. There are other awakened people who can ripen plants, and even more awakened people, which only improve their sense of smell or vision. These types of awakened people are all called auxiliary awakened people, and they don't have much fighting power, and the number of such awakened people is the largest, accounting for 90% of all awakened people. The remaining 10% are combat awakeners. Combat type awakeners, those with awakening power, are 10 times, or even 100 times stronger than ordinary people. Those with awakening elements that can release powerful forces such as water, fire, wind, and thunder to help fight. Also has the ability of awakening space, which can move instantaneously, and the genetically awakened person can even be invisible and transform into the appearance of others. It is precisely because of the powerful technology and these awakeners in this world that the safety of the city is guaranteed, and it cannot be invaded by the powerful beasts in the wild. But not everyone here can awaken. The science and technology of this world have been studied for a long time, and so far, no way has been found to fully stimulate awakening. In this world, the proportion of awakened people is only about 1 in 1,000, and there are so many auxiliary types. The combat type awakeners who truly possess powerful strength are less than 1 in case. The power of the awakened person can also be improved, and to be awakened again, the authority in every city is a powerful awakened person. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com itself has super strength. The more you understand, the cooler Zhou Ping's heart will be. This world is far more horrible and dangerous than he imagined. As an ordinary person, he is also an unidentified traveler. It is too difficult to truly gain a foothold in this world. Leaving the hotel, Zhou Ping opened the map again. 90% of the white light spots in the city have been gathered together, and there are only less than 100 scattered white light spots. Up to now, it has only been 2 hours for the crossing. As time progresses, I am afraid that the scattered white light spots will only become less and less. The time in this world is the same as the Earth, and it is also 24 hours a day. Because of the more advanced technology, there is almost no distinction between day and night in this world. Even at night, there are many people who want to work. All cities in this world are truly cities that never sleep. For Zhou Ping, the top priority is to have a place to stay. Turning on the phone, Zhou Ping downloaded a hotel app, but after only looking at it for a while, he gave up. When staying in a hotel in this world, he needs to verify his identity information. He is an unidentified black household and it is impossible to live in. As for renting, don't even think about it. Opened the map again, Zhou Ping carefully looked at everything around him. Although the 7th district is no better than the first 6 districts, it is still unsafe here. At a place less than 2 kilometers away, there are more than 24 white light spots, all concentrated in one place. The place where the concentration is must be the location of the manager here. This is a place that Zhou Ping must not go to. Drew the surrounding 1,000 meters as a restricted area. Zhou Ping continued to look at the map. The 7th district was on the periphery of the city, but there was no shortage of everything here, such as shopping malls, hospitals, schools, etc. Now for Zhou Ping, finding a safe foothold is the top priority. I can't go to the wild. The outside is too dangerous, but there are crises in the city. It is not easy for Zhou Ping to stay safe while not being discovered. It didn't go far, it was a commercial center. The commercial center of District 7 finally has the shadow of the first 6 districts, dozens of stories high commercial buildings, there are holographic images outside, and a movie trailer is playing. This movie is currently being screened. The short trailer is the best part of the movie. In the holographic image, there are 2 strong men punching in the ring, punching to the flesh, very intense. Zhou Ping glanced at the holographic screen, and his heart moved slightly. The movie theater is a good temporary hiding place. If the city managers have already understood the situation of the people who traveled through, they will definitely understand that these people who travel through do not have the currency of this world, and the movie theaters that can only be entered by paying will become a safe place. After turning his feet, Zhou Ping went directly into the commercial center and successfully found the location of the movie theater. Like the Earth, movie tickets here do not need an ID card to buy. As long as you have money, you can buy tickets. Bought a movie ticket for an advertisement broadcast outside, and Zhou Ping followed the crowd into the theater. To watch movies in this world, you need to wear thin glasses. Wearing these glasses is like being in a movie, more realistic than 3D and 4D movies on Earth. Moreover, the glasses can switch the angle of view, which can be used as a bystander to watch the development of the protagonist in the movie world, or directly switch to the protagonist's line of sight and feel everything about the protagonist in the movie world. Zhou Ping chose the bystander's perspective, sitting quietly on the chair and watching the movie. At the same time, the map has been opened, observing the scattered white light spots that have not been caught. In a hospital not far from him, a white light spot did not move. It was in the hospital. This was a smart traverser. He should have been hiding in the hospital. A little further away, a bustling commercial center in District 6, also has a white light spot, but he is still moving, not moving fast. He should be in the mall, pretending to be walking in the mall. The 6th and 7th areas, added together, now there are only 17 scattered white light spots. Expanding the map, Zhou Ping looked at the white light spot in the wild. Near the 9th city, only 1 kilometer away from the city, there were 3 white light spots running fast. After a while, one disappeared, and only 2 remained. I don't know what danger they encountered. One of the 3 people has been killed. Zhou Ping can only pray for the remaining 2, hoping they can escape the disaster. Further outward, Zhou Ping noticed that in a wilderness, 6 white light spots were gathered together and were moving slowly. These 6 white light spots did not attenuate the staff, but in the perilous wild, how long they can hold on depends only on God's will. Expanded to the entire world, Zhou Ping was immediately attracted by a purple light spot. The entire map before, there were only white light spots, no other colors, but this time a purple light spot suddenly appeared. Zhou Ping took a closer look at the map again, and in the entire map, there was only this light spot, which was purple. What does the purple light point mean? Zhou Ping is not clear. There is no manual for the map, but unfortunately he can't even give a bad review. However, Zhou Ping noticed that the purple light spot was with 2 white light spots, and the moving speed of the purple light spot was obviously much faster than that of the white light spot. The 2 white spots around the purple spot disappeared quickly, but the purple spot has run away and continues to exist. The purple light spot ran a long way before it stopped. Halfway through the movie, the purple light spot was still in place and it didn't move. Zhou Ping noticed the position of the purple light spot, closed the map, and watched the movie with peace of mind. This is a movie about the awakened. It is about an ordinary person who is forced to enter the underground boxing ring to make money in order to treat his mother. After, he made enough money to cure his mother's illness, and he was also favored by city managers and became a powerful fighter in the city. This is an inspirational movie. Zhou Ping searched it on his mobile phone. The protagonist is still a star in the world. Zhou Ping did not care about the inspirational process of the hero, but there was a plot in the movie, but he watched it very focused. Underground boxing arena is a mixed place, where there are even wanted criminals to hide. The protagonist can be seen by the city manager because he defeated the wanted criminal and helped the city manager get the wanted criminal back. The process of arresting the wanted criminal was a small climax. The underground boxing gym mobilized many people to protect the wanted criminal from the city manager. Not only that, Zhou Ping even saw that in the underground boxing arena, there is no need for any identification, no matter who, as long as they abide by the rules of the underground boxing arena. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com can survive there. There is a dark area. After the Tahur movie ended, Zhou Ping followed the people in the theater and left the theater together. The 17 scattered light spots in the 6th and 7th areas are still scattered. Is equivalent to saying that in these 2 hours, none of the 17 hidden traversers were caught. During this time, they successfully protected themselves. The purple light spot is not in the original position, but it still exists. There is no white light spot within 100 kilometers around him. This purple spot is lonely there, making it particularly conspicuous. Zhou Ping just glanced at the surrounding situation. He already had a goal in his heart. Underground boxing arena. There is an underground boxing arena in the 9th city, but it is not in the 7th area. In the 8th area, through the map, Zhou Ping has found this place just now, about 5 kilometers away from him. The environment in the 8th district is even worse. The 7th district also has the commercial center where Zhou Ping is now. There is no decent commercial center in the 8th district, and there are not many buildings with more than 10 stories high. If compared with the bustling 1st district, the 8th district is a slum. In the 7th area, he can still hide for a while, or even a few days, but he can't not sleep. Without a safe place to stay, it is always a hidden danger for him. Slums represent chaos, but for Zhou Ping, they also represent opportunities. But the distance from here to the underground boxing ring in District 8 is not close, it's a full 5 kilometers. Zhou Ping left the cinema and did not leave. He bought a movie ticket. It is 12 o'clock in the evening. There are movies in the cinema from morning to night. He plans to have a rest in the cinema and wait until dawn before heading to the underground boxing arena. Watched a total of 4 movies, Zhou Ping slept in the cinema for 3 hours. The movie ticket alone cost more than $100, but for the value of the money, Zhou Ping was in the cinema all night and waited till dawn. At dawn, there were only 15 scattered white light spots. 2 of them failed to hold on till dawn and were taken away. This also shows that among the arrested, no one can have a map of the world like him, and can see the location of others, otherwise the scattered white light spots would not be 15, but 0. Zhou Ping specially noticed that the white light spot in the nearby hiding hospital was always there, and he didn't know how long he could hide there. But without the identity and currency in this world, Zhou Ping is not optimistic about him. Even if he can hide for a while, he cannot stay in the hospital forever. Even if he has something on his body that can be exchanged for money, but there is no real place to stay, it will be a matter of time before he gets caught. Expanded the map. The purple light spot that he found before was still there, but the position had moved more than 50 kilometers, and he could walk more than 50 kilometers in one night. His speed was really not slow. In addition to this purple light spot, Zhou Ping found 11 purple light spots in the entire map. In just one night, there were 12 purple light spots. These purple spots are all in the wild. Walking out of the commercial center, there is a blue sky and white clouds in the sky. Just like the Earth, there is only one sun. If there is no aircraft in the sky and the shopping mall has no advertisements for holographic images, it is really similar to the Earth. On the first floor of the commercial center, Zhou Ping also had breakfast. The taste of breakfast is almost the same as yesterday's noodles. Although the food is steamed buns, the taste of steamed buns is not strong when it comes to the mouth. Zhou Ping at this meeting already understood what was going on. This world is very dangerous in the wild. Except for the few well-protected production bases in each city, there are no farmers growing crops at all. The food that people in the city usually eat is basically synthetic starch and protein, and the meat is also artificial meat. The nutrition is adequate, but the taste is average. Zhou Ping left the commercial center, stopped the taxi outside, and told the taxi driver where he was going. The taxis in this world are similar to those on the Earth. Zhou Ping already knew that there were taxis in this world when he watched the movie, and he didn't need identification information. As long as he had money, he could take the taxi. 12 hours have passed since passing through to the present. There were only more than 60,000 white spots on the map at this time. In just half a day, more than 40% of the traversers were killed, which made Zhou Ping feel the danger of this world more deeply. The underground boxing arena in the 9th city is the most prosperous place in the 8th district. There is an 8-story main building with several 5-story auxiliary buildings next to it. This is not like an underground boxing arena, but rather similar to the Wanda Plaza on the earth. Here is another one. After Zhou Ping got out of the car, someone in front of him immediately said something strange. This little arm and calf will definitely not pass the exam for boxers. There were 30 or 40 people standing in front of him, all looking at Zhou Ping. Being watched by so many people made Zhou Ping very uncomfortable. What he wanted most now was to hide himself instead of being noticed. "Boy, are you here to be a boxer too?" As soon as Zhou Ping walked over, a brawny man yelled to him. Zhou Ping was taken aback for a moment, and suddenly remembered that in the movie, the actor did apply for boxers in order to save his mother. Underground boxing arena is to please the audience with black boxing, and has the nature of gambling. But if you want to enter the underground boxing arena, not everyone can. You need to apply for a boxer first, go through a physical examination, and have the ability to punch before you can be officially hired as a boxer. Next is the boxing match. Starting from the lowest level, every boxing match, if you win, there is a huge bonus, if you lose, there is nothing. Underground boxing ring, regardless of life or death, there are 3 boxers who die in the hands of the hero in the movie. I'm not. Zhou Ping shook his head. He came to the underground boxing ring because the mixed environment here is suitable for him. Is purely to settle down. He didn't want to fight black punches in the past to make a living. He took 20 small gold bars across. He was not short of money, and would not do this kind of very dangerous and unsure thing. You are not a conscript boxer, so you can't watch the boxing. How can you see the boxing in broad daylight? The brawny man said cheerfully, arousing laughter around him, and Zhou Ping immediately understood that he had made a serious mistake. For the sake of safety, he chose to come during the day, but the boxing gym is closed during the day and only opens at night. This is a real grey area, and it's only lively at night. In this world, the underground boxing arena is an open and legal existence. There are many people who want to change their destiny and become a senior boxer through their own power. Zhou Ping did not speak, and silently walked past them. Applying for a boxer, Zhou Ping didn't even think about it. He knew his own strength and came to be a boxer. Not to mention whether he could apply for a boxer. If he really applied for a boxer, he would become other people's cannon fodder. Didn't go far, he suddenly looked at the wall to the side. There are quite a few papers on the wall. The largest one is a red paper, which is an instruction for recruiting fighters. The underground boxing ring recruits new fighters every morning. No wonder these people see themselves and think that he is a fighter. Beside the red paper, there are many small advertisements. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. These advertisements made Zhou Ping stunned. There are direct sellers, including men, women, children, girls, and even young women, and even celebrities. There are also advertisements for selling guns, pistols, and submachine guns. When watching a movie, Zhou Ping knew that although technology in this world is advanced, many weapons are similar to those on Earth. For example, guns use bullets, and there is no laser gun like in Earth science fiction movies. It's just that the world has more powerful large-scale weapons. These weapons are the foundation of protecting the city. There are many small advertisements on the wall, but Zhou Ping's most wanted advertisement for renting a house does not, nor does it have an advertisement for selling identity certificates that he wants more. According to Zhou Ping's plan, he wanted to rent a house in the underground boxing arena, use it as a safe place to stay, and then slowly learn about the world, and finally buy a legal identity. With a legal identity, he will do whatever he wants in the future, as long as he can hide the identity of his traverser. But the plan couldn't keep up with the changes, and the information he wanted didn't appear. The a little tattered advertisement in the corner attracted Luo Hao's attention. This is an advertisement for the recruitment of handymen in the underground boxing arena. There is not much content. Candidates only need to register at the designated place. The place written above is here. Boxer Zhou Ping certainly can't do it, but it's not bad to be a handyman, at least he can settle down here steadily. And compared to renting a house, it seems safer to be a handyman in a boxing field. According to the address written in the advertisement, Zhou Ping walked directly to the boxing ring. Almost all of the 30 people behind him looked at him in surprise. This cleanly dressed young man really didn't seem to be a fighter. At the door of an office on the 3rd floor of the main building, Zhou Ping looked at the note on the door silently. If you have anything, please call, XXXXX. How come here is the same as on the earth, it also needs to be connected. Unfortunately, Zhou Ping has a cell phone in this world, but he can't make calls, so he can only wait dry. After waiting for more than an hour, a fat man came over and opened the door. Apply for handyman. Seeing Zhou Ping at the door of the office, the fat man asked while opening the door. Yes. Zhou Ping nodded immediately and approached the man. Come in. The fat man opened the door. A small office is similar to the offices of many units on the planet, but there is only one desk in it, and only fat men work here. What did you commit to hide here? The fat man sat at his desk carelessly, first looked up and down Zhou Ping, then asked with a smile. Because of his fat, the man's face is round, and his eyes can't be seen with this smile. I did nothing wrong. As soon as Zhou Ping spoke, the man waved his hand and interrupted him. You don't need to explain, people like you have come here. I think they have committed a lot of things before thinking about hiding. I first declare that we can accept you when you come. But if you commit too serious a crime, and if someone asks you by name, we won't be able to keep you. I see. Zhou Ping really understood. It seems that many people who have committed crimes in this world want to hide in the underground boxing arena. The fat man in front of him misunderstands that he is also a criminal, so it is better and easier to hide his identity as a transgressor. Just understand, no matter what you did before, but here, you have to abide by the rules here. Do you know all the work that the handyman has to do? I know, I will completely obey the arrangement. The small advertisement outside does say that the work that the handyman must do, in addition to the regular cleaning, but also to serve the real fighters and even other workers. It can be said that all chores are done by chores. Handyman is the lowest ranking person in the underground boxing arena. It's very good for you to have this awareness. Let me first say yes. I have an identity certificate and I have a monthly salary of 3,000. Without an identity certificate, only 1,500 will be paid. You will be expelled if you don't do well, and you won't have any salary. The fat man continued. Zhou Ping was slightly happy, as expected, there is no proof of identity here. As for the salary, Zhou Ping didn't think so much about it. It is the key to let him settle here safely. I understand, I don't have an identity certificate. Zhou Ping answered honestly. Fortunately, he bought 20 small gold bars before crossing, otherwise his salary would not even be guaranteed for his basic life. If you don't have one, it's 1,005, go to the Deputy 3rd Building Room 107 to find Master Ma, he will arrange you to do things. The fat man seemed very satisfied with Zhou Ping's attitude, did not ask carefully, threw him a work card with a lanyard, and waved to Zhou Ping to leave. Are you applying now? Zhou Ping walked out of the office in a daze, without even registering. This underground boxing arena is too casual, right? But after thinking about it carefully, he understood what was going on. He didn't even have an identity certificate. What else did he register? Even if he did, it was likely to be false information, so there is no need to do so. The movie comes from life, this sentence is not false at all, the underground boxing ring really doesn't care about his identity, so he is left behind. The 3rd Deputy Building is an auxiliary building next to it. Before Zhou Ping went to the Deputy 3rd Building, he bought 2 packs of cigarettes in a small supermarket nearby and then walked towards the Deputy 3rd Building. The 30 or so people who were waiting for the fighters outside the main building have all disappeared, and it is estimated that they have all been taken away for assessment. The third building is easy to find. Room 107 is a dormitory. When Zhou Ping arrived, the door was open. The room is not big, only about 10 square meters in size. There is also a high and low bed inside. There is a recliner beside the bed. A man who looks like his 50s is lying on the chair with his eyes closed. Master Ma, hello, I am a new handyman, please take care of me in the future. Zhou Ping stepped forward and put the 2 packs of cigarettes he had just bought on the small table next to the reclining chair. The food in this world is not expensive. A small noodle set meal and drinks are only 20 yuan. Watching movies is also a normal price, but cigarettes are really expensive. These 2 packs of cigarettes are just medium-sized cigarettes, which cost Zhou Ping 400 yuan. 200 yuan per pack is definitely much more expensive than cigarettes on the earth. But 1 year after graduation, Zhou Ping, who has been taught many times by the society, understands that if he wants to settle down in the underground boxing arena and do this handyman, some money must be spent. This Master Ma is the person who will arrange his specific work next. A good relationship is extremely beneficial to Zhou Ping's hiding in the future. Even though it was painful when buying cigarettes, Zhou Ping bought these 2 packs of cigarettes and gave them to Master Ma. New here? Not bad, with good eyesight. The man on the reclining chair opened his eyes, got up and picked up the cigarette that Zhou Ping had laid down. Zhou Ping then noticed that he only had one arm, and the other arm was empty. There are mechanical arms in this world, but the price is not low. It seems that men are not rich people and have no money to install mechanical prostheses. It's a pity that someone like you is innocent to do handyman. Master Ma took out the cigarette with one hand and drew one into his mouth. Zhou Ping immediately stepped forward and helped him light the cigarette. A job card without a name? I see. Come with me. When Zhou Ping was on fire, Master Ma saw the work card hanging on Zhou Ping's neck, a very ordinary white work card. He got up with a smile, and walked directly outside. While he was walking, Zhou Ping was stunned again. Master Ma limped when he walked. Not only did he lose an arm, he was also a crippled man. Have you seen a dead person? When he came to a gate not far away, Master Ma suddenly stopped. I have seen it. Zhou Ping answered honestly, he had indeed seen it, not before the crossing, but after the crossing. Just came across last night, the tattooed man who wanted to escape was killed in front of him. I've seen it before. Master Ma opened the door with one hand, and it was empty inside. There were only 10 small beds, 2 of which were covered with white cloth, and the others were empty. Master Ma pointed to the small bed covered with white cloth and instructed Zhou Ping, move the 2 corpses to the cremation room. Zhou Ping's mouth suddenly became dry. He didn't expect that the first thing he did when he became a handyman in the underground boxing ring was to move the corpse. It was true that he had seen a dead person, but he didn't look closely at all, and he didn't dare to look at it. Now there are 2 really cold corpses in front of him, and he has to carry them directly. There are carts over there, one by one. Master Ma didn't give Zhou Ping a choice at all, and pointed to a small cart by the wall. Unable to refuse, Zhou Ping endured the fear in his heart and pushed the cart by the wall. When he was about to touch the corpse, his body was covered with goosebumps. Master Ma just looked at him with a smile, and did not speak. The handyman is indeed the lowest class person in the underground boxing arena. No matter what kind of work is arranged, you have to do it, including moving the corpse. Zhou Ping took a deep breath and immediately coughed a few times. This is a morgue. Although the 2 corpses were fresh, they were also parked overnight. In addition, the corpses had been parked for a long time in this room, and the smell of corpses still existed. Hurry up! Master Ma urged. Zhou Ping resisted the discomfort on his body and stretched out his hand to lift the white cloth. Underneath was a corpse, his face was smashed. Fortunately, the blood has coagulated. Zhou Ping does not have to worry about getting the blood on his body. Turned over the corpse and put the corpse on the cart. When moving the corpse, the map suddenly appeared on its own, and it was positioned at Zhou Ping's current position, and a white dot appeared in front of him. But the white spot disappeared after only 3 seconds. Then the map disappeared automatically. Zhou Ping was stunned there, not understanding why the map appeared on its own, and there were also white light spots. According to his understanding, the white spots are those who travel through. Is it possible that the person who died was a traveler? It is a pity that when he crossed here yesterday, he kept observing the surroundings, and did not carefully check the situation on the 8th area. I don't know if there were any traversers. He appeared on the underground boxing ring yesterday and died here. Follow me after moving. Master Ma said. Zhou Ping immediately put aside his guess, and honestly followed Master Ma, pushing the body to a separate bungalow next to the 3rd building. This bungalow brought the corpse here with a chimney, so that Zhou Ping understood that this was the cremation room. Master Ma limped and opened the door. There were 3 burning incinerators inside. Push the corpse in and burn it. Master Ma stood by and ordered Zhou Ping. Moving the corpse has made Zhou Ping feel uncomfortable, and got goosebumps. Now let him come and cremate the corpse himself? At this moment, Zhou Ping even wondered whether Master Ma deliberately targeted himself. Hurry up, all newcomers have to do this. Master Ma urged again. Zhou Ping's expression turned very ugly, but he wanted to stand here and use this as a foothold. Master Ma ordered that he must do it. At this moment, he even thought, being caught by the managers here, I am afraid it would not be so miserable, right? But I just think about it. Compared with losing freedom, it's better outside even if it's harder. At least fate is still in my own hands. Zhou Ping almost closed his eyes and pushed the corpse into the incinerator. The flame in the incinerator burned more intensely, a scorching smell came out, and the smoked Zhou Ping immediately ran outside the house. He vomited all the undigested parts of the food that I ate in the morning. It's normal to vomit, and I did a good job. Master Ma nodded approvingly. He has accepted many people who want to hide here as handymen, but like Zhou Ping, he can persist until the end, and few people have successfully cremated the corpse. Zhou Ping didn't know, this is actually a hurdle that all handymen must pass, even those who are poor and have proof of identity. As for whether there are so many dead people, there is no shortage of dead bodies every day in the underground boxing ring. Pull and burn the other one too. Master Ma faintly ordered. Zhou Ping, who had just vomited, started to retching again. Still burning? Looking at Master Ma's calm face, Zhou Ping gritted his teeth and could only push the car by himself, pushing another corpse over, and also pushing into the incinerator. Once cooked and then cooked again, Zhou Ping didn't vomit this time, but it was the same difficulty. Very well, you have passed the test. From now on you will be a handyman in the boxing field. Follow me for the time being. I will recommend you to the boxer to be a boxer's personal handyman. You don't need to do this. It's up. Master Ma smiled and looked at Zhou Ping. Zhou Ping had already passed the most uncomfortable time, which would be much better. Master Ma, who are these 2 people and when did they die? How did they die? Zhou Ping, who recovered, did not forget to ask Master Ma for the identity of the 2. Only when the first Zhou Ping moved, the map automatically appeared, but the second did not. Master Ma explained to Zhou Ping, these 2, one is a brave guy. I don't know where he came from. He even dared to steal something here. He was caught and killed. It was about 8 o'clock last night. One was a hapless boxer who was beaten to death when he punched in the early morning. 8 o'clock last night? Zhou Ping immediately guessed that the one who stole the thing was probably the traverser. 8 o'clock last night, it was when they just came across. It is estimated that this traverser has crossed to the side of the boxing ring, but it is not known how he thought of stealing as soon as he crossed. As for the boxer, it is normal to be beaten to death. In the first movie Zhou Ping watched, the protagonist killed 3 boxers. You can stay here, I will tell you what to do, but there are a few points to pay attention to. Don't ask if you shouldn't, don't do what you shouldn't do. Now there are people living in other dormitories, just live in my room and sleep on my upper bunk. Master Ma took Zhou Ping and said as he went back, Zhou Ping just nodded and continued to agree. Burned 2 corpses, and finally gave him a safe foothold. The price was high, but it was also worth it. Go to sleep, there is still life tonight. Back to the dormitory, Master Ma didn't say anything to Zhou Ping. He went to the bed by himself, and snoring sounded after a while. Zhou Ping, who was only in a daze last night and slept intermittently for 3 hours, fell asleep shortly thereafter. Zhou Ping had a dream, dreaming that he was caught by the managers here, and then pulled over for anatomy, watching his intestines and heart being dug out. Zhou Ping suddenly woke up, reading www.yuyugonshu.com, then realized that it was a nightmare. I checked the time on the mobile phone of this world, and it was only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Zhou Ping only slept for more than 5 hours, but couldn't sleep anymore. He simply lay there and opened the map of the world again. In the 6th and 7th areas, there were 15 scattered white light spots, but now there are still 11. 4 more are missing. I don't know if they were caught or killed. There are 2 hidden white light spots in the distance of the 8th area. The 3 areas are added together, not counting Zhou Ping, and there are 13 people left who have not been arrested. Zhou Ping also noticed that most of the white light spots in the 9th city are now concentrated in one place in the 3rd district. There are at least 700 white light spots there, and there are places where white light spots gather in other areas, but there are very few. It was the white light spot that was hidden in the hospital before. It was still there. It was still in the hospital. It seemed that he was hiding well, at least so far he has not been captured. In the entire world map, the number of purple light spots has increased a lot. Originally had only 12 purple light spots, now it has become more than 100. In addition to the wild, purple light spots also appeared in the city, but they were not in the 9th city where Zhou Ping was located. There were 3 purple light spots in the city, all in the alliance cities on the other side of the mainland. I probably counted all the white light spots, and Zhou Ping sighed secretly again. In the morning, there were more than 60,000 white light spots, now it is less than 50,000. It hasn't been a day since the crossing, and more than half of the people died. Although he moved and burned the corpses, it was more than a little bit stronger than these dead traversers. At least he survived, and he has a temporary safe foothold. Master Ma woke up at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. The boxing field is open at night, starting at 12 o'clock, but the handyman has to go to work at 8 o'clock, plus the time to get up to pack up and eat, get up at 6 o'clock in the afternoon every day. If something happens during the day, the handyman cannot sleep and must go to work. Handyman, with the least amount of money, doing the most tiring work. If he can't have any opinions, he will be expelled if he has any opinions, and he won't be paid any salary. There is no labor law in this place. When you come to the boxing field, you must abide by the rules of the boxing field. Failure to comply with the rules may result in expulsion, or death. There are a total of 7 boxing gyms in the boxing arena, but only 6 are usually open. Today you follow me and go to the first boxing gym to be on duty. Master Ma said to Zhou Ping while tidying himself up with one hand. Master Ma explained the basic situation of the boxing field to Zhou Ping during this slow process of cleaning up. The underground boxing arena is not what Zhou Ping thought, there is only one boxing gym. There are 7 boxing gyms, 6 of which can hold 1,000 people at the same time, and a big boxing gym that can hold 5,000 people at the same time. The fighters here are divided into elementary, intermediate, and advanced according to their strength. There are 3 primary gyms, 2 intermediate gyms, and 1 advanced gym. As for the remaining big gym, it is only open 3 times a month, on the 10th, 20th, and 30th. When the big boxing gym is open, all the small boxing gyms will be closed. That's when the underground boxing gym is the busiest. Here, boxers are divided into high, middle, and low levels. Boxers at each level can only fight with the same level and cannot leapfrog. Unless the boxer is upgraded, they can go to a higher level of boxing gym. The boxing field has its own ranks according to the strength of the fighters, which is very strict. Master Ma's explanation made Zhou Ping startled. There are so many fighters in the underground boxing arena. If there is only one boxing gym, it can't be beaten at all. If they are divided into different gyms according to their levels, this problem can be solved very well. But the 3 junior gymnasiums with the most fighters, starting at 12 o'clock every night, usually can fight until morning. This is why the boxing ring is recruiting new fighters every day. The underground boxing ring has no restrictions on fighting. People are often killed and injured more often. Only one boxer died yesterday. In the words of Master Ma, there are already very few. Usually, 2 to 3 people die every day. Boxers die and are injured every day. Naturally, new fighters must be recruited to supplement. Every day there are people who come to fight for fighters with dreams. The reason for this is that the various underground boxing arena movies made in this world have contributed a lot. Fighting in the underground boxing ring does have a chance to change your destiny, but things outsiders don't know, the risk of death here is also the highest. The handyman in the underground boxing ring provides food and accommodation. This is good news for Zhou Ping. Although the salary is very low, it can reduce a lot of extra expenses, and the gold bullion brought can be well preserved to deal with possible future crises. After changing into handyman clothes, Master Ma took Zhou Ping to the cafeteria. There were many handymen in the cafeteria. When they saw Master Ma, many people greeted them friendly, and Master Ma also responded with a smile. It can be seen that Master Ma is well known here. Lined up to receive dinner, Master Ma took Zhou Ping to the table aside for dinner. Dinner is very ordinary: porridge, steamed buns and side dishes, and they are all synthetic foods, and the taste is very ordinary. Zhou Ping, at this time, I didn't even think about coming over and enjoying it, as long as I can eat enough. After eating, it was almost 8 o'clock, Master Ma took Zhou Ping to the first boxing gym. Like the boxing gym in the movie, there is a square ring in the middle, surrounded by steel rings, and the whole is an iron cage. People who enter the ring can't get out unless the door is opened outside. Clean up first, Zhou Ping, you are in charge of the 7th stand area, clean up here. After entering the boxing gym, Master Ma arranged work for Zhou Ping. Zhou Ping had no objection, so he found the broom and started to clean it seriously. I have even done the work of incinerating corpses, and ordinary cleaning is nothing. Many handymen are working, and a few, like Master Ma, are only in charge of command. Zhou Ping noticed that the handyman in charge of the command carried all the work cards with colors, purple and blue, and the handymen who were doing work were all white work cards. It seems that the underground boxing arena is divided into ranks among the handymen. I just don't know what level of Master Ma with a blue work card is. It was almost an hour before Zhou Ping cleaned the stands that he was responsible for. Master Ma was very satisfied with his work attitude. The handyman in other areas, this will only be half cleaned, and many people are secretly grinding their work without being serious. Zhou Ping, go and clean the ring again. After Zhou Ping finished, Master Ma immediately arranged a new job for him to clean the ring. The cleaning of the ring is much more tiring than the stands. The reason for those handymen to work hard is because they are afraid that they will finish their work first and be arranged to clean the ring. Seeing that someone was going to clean the ring, many people seemed to come up with enthusiasm and suddenly worked hard. The ring is not big, much smaller than the stands, but there are a lot of blood stains on the ring, and all these blood stains must be cleaned up. And the boxing ring can't use a mop. You must use a towel to clean up all the blood stains little by little. Not only the ground, but also the iron rings around the ring and the outside ground near the ring must be cleaned up in this way. Cleaning the ring, reading www.yuyuganshu.com can be said to be the most tiring work. Zhou Ping didn't know this. He completed his task early and was arranged to clean the ring. For 2 full hours, Zhou Ping's tired hands sore and neck aches. He finally cleaned up the ring. At this time, the other handymen had already finished their work, chatting next to him and waiting for the opening of the boxing gym in the evening. Good job, let's take a break. Master Ma handed Zhou Ping a bottle of water, which was almost a mouthful, and Zhou Ping drank the bottle of water. When working, there is no water to drink, and you are not allowed to drink. Compared with the earth, the handyman here really has no human rights at all. But when you come here, you have to abide by the rules here, and no one can change. After only half an hour of rest, Zhou Ping became busy again. At 11:30, the audience began to enter the arena. Although the number 1 boxing gym is a junior boxing gym with only 1,000 people in the stands, many people come every day. There are only 1,000 stands, and 1,000 or 200 people can come in. The reason is very simple. The junior boxing gym is a place where the most advanced boxers fight. The tickets here are the cheapest and the number of games is the most. For the most common people in the world, come here to watch boxing. You can not only see the thrilling boxing match, but also save money and watch longer. These reasons have also made the handyman in the junior boxing gym even more tiring. From the moment the audience entered the venue, Zhou Ping was busy, not only guiding the audience with seats to his own seat, but also leading the audience without seats to find a suitable standing place. At the same time, it also helps the audience in need to buy boxing tickets. Boxing ticket refers to the next match, which player can be bought to win. Different players have different odds, and you can make money if you buy it.